It has been 20 years since NASCAR lost its biggest star. Dale Earnhardt Sr. was killed in an accident during the Daytona 500, but his legacy lives on in more ways than one.
Dale was obviously that rough and tumble, do anything to win a race.
Dale Earnhardt Sr., he is the intimidator.
He could figure out how to win a race, and sometimes it was with his front bumper. But you know, that's why, you know, we like to watch him, right?
Dale Earnhardt Sr. was both revered and feared on the NASCAR circuit. He would do just about anything to win a race. In 1998, the NASCAR and sports world celebrated as Dale Earnhardt Sr. won the Daytona 500 for the first time, the sport's biggest race that had eluded Earnhardt his entire career. 3 years later, Earnhardt was right in the thick of things at Daytona again.
I was in that Daytona 500. It was my first start. And, you know, at one point I was running up front with the big dogs, and this black 3-car comes right by my right side and scrapes. And I'm like, what happened? Whoa. And then his fingers out the window. And I'm like, what did I do? I was trying to mind my own business here.
It was 2001. The cheers turned to gasps.
No! Big trouble. Big wreck behind them.
And then tears on the final lap. Earnhardt was hit from behind and lost control, slamming into the wall on turn 4 head on. He was pronounced dead a short time later. It's been 20 years since the racing world stopped and became silent. Since the crash, NASCAR has focused on safety improvements, everything from safer barriers to head and neck restraints.
To me, the single biggest thing that's happened over the last 20 years is the culture, and the culture around safety, the ability for all of us in the industry to talk about it. It's something that everyone believes we should be talking about. There's a lot of ideas, a lot of different experts, but it's something that's just built into what we do each and every day.
Technology has also advanced, creating the safest race cars ever.
We've really had access to incredibly powerful new tools, new sensors, and new analysis tools. We've been able to capture more data, makes us smarter, we can make better decisions.
Here comes Hamlin up the outside. Wow. Crash into the wall, into the air.
In 2020, at that same race, the Daytona 500, there were more gasps, more deep breaths, and more tears as Ryan Newman was involved in a horrific crash, and immediately people's minds drifted to Dale Sr. and feared the worst. But 2 days later, the tears were those of joy as Newman walked out of the hospital, each hand holding the hand of his daughters.
The start of my crash was really no different than the start of his crash, which was basically the end of his crash. And I can see the progression that we've had from a safety standpoint.
The death of Dale Earnhardt Sr., as tragic as it was, probably saved countless more lives. Since that day 20 years ago, no one has died in a NASCAR-sanctioned race, thanks in part to a push for stronger safety requirements. The Intimidator is still doing what he always did, making his presence known and impacting the outcome of every race. Well, NASCAR unofficially retired Earnhardt's number 3 after his death, but it's currently being used by Austin Dillon, who is the grandson of Earnhardt's good friend and car owner, Richard Childress.